everyone, and welcome to the first part of a long ongoing series where we explore the filming locations of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now, we're going to be sticking to the filming locations that are actually done here in Philly. A lot of the show is made in Los Angeles, but nonetheless, we will be going season by season, episode by episode, starting out with season 1, episode 1, The Gang Gets Racist. One of the first locations that we get in this series is the Philadelphia Java Company. It's no longer the Philadelphia Java Company, though. It is actually Green Line Cafe. There is a Philadelphia Java Company still here in the city, but it's at 2nd and Moyamensing. This location is at Gaskill and 4th, just about half a block away from South Street. Mac, Charlie, and Dennis come here to discuss bringing Tyrell on as a promoter for the bar. Unfortunately, Charlie ends up paraphrasing Tyrell, and therefore he drops the N-word. Right at that exact moment, the waitress, the love of Charlie's life, comes out, and now she thinks he's racist, saying that she'll even put extra cream in his coffee. Unfortunately for Charlie, this sets up the whole story arc of her never liking him throughout the entire series. After the waitress hears Charlie drop the N-bomb, thinking that he is now racist, Mac and Charlie decide to come over to Temple University to make more black friends. However, these scenes were actually filmed at the University of Pennsylvania. This is the Fisher Fine Arts Library, and they also do some walking around on Locust Walk, which is the main thoroughfare with the university.
The show does feature a lot of B-roll footage where it just shows parts of the city skyline. I'm only going to cover them when they first show up. In the first episode, there are 3 consecutive shots. This first one is taken from the South Street Bridge as you're crossing from the Graduate Hospital section of the city over towards University City. Then it transitions into this view on the east end of the city down by Penn's Landing. This is the same Market Street sign that we see in the introduction. They didn't go far for this next shot, which is right around the corner. Here we see the Ben Franklin Bridge spanning the Delaware River over to Camden, New Jersey. This area is Penn's Landing, and there's lots of seasonal activities here throughout the year, as you can tell by the ice skating rink.
So now we find ourselves here at the corner of 3rd and South Street. This is where Tyrell's apartment is. Dee comes here and tries to make an advance onto Tyrell. He rejects her advances, and she eventually figures out that he's gay. She says, "How could you not tell me you were gay?" He says he figured it was pretty obvious considering he's a man doing theater in Philadelphia. But anyway, this is how it looks now, and here's how it looked in the show. We are in the Italian market on 9th Street, right across the street from DeBruno's. This is where the gang comes and they discuss the future plans for Patty's. Charlie and Dennis are absolutely thrilled that they're making a ton of money, and they decide that they want to continue keeping it as a gay bar. Mac doesn't want that. Dee's vote doesn't rule. This is where Mac and Dee are sitting. You can see that the mural is now gone. The mural for DeBruno's is also being covered by the market for the holiday. It is what it is. Season 1, Episode 2 opens up here at the corner of 10th and Bainbridge at the Palumbo Recreation Center basketball court. Here we find Mac and Dennis playing a friendly game of basketball. Charlie is the referee. He says that he wants to play. They don't let him play. Mac and Dennis are teasing Charlie, calling him a little munchkin, and they do a little dance. Eventually, this lady shows up, and she says that she needs to talk to them. But they mostly ignore her until she eventually says to Charlie that it's about his son. After finding out that Charlie has a kid, he actually comes to meet Tommy, his supposed son. He ends up taking Tommy out to the mall where he runs into the waitress, and Dee ends up passing off Tommy as Charlie's little brother so that he can win favor with the waitress. Later on, Charlie decides that he wants to take Tommy out again on a Saturday so that, again, he can use it to get to the waitress. This is when Tommy's mom reveals that Charlie's not actually the father. In order to confirm whether or not Charlie is actually the father of Tommy, they bring him here to get a little bit of blood work done. While inside, Tommy starts making a scene and starts screaming that he wants to get to the mall, so they never actually end up getting the blood work done. This location's right on the corner of 43rd Street and Chester Avenue, right across the street from Clark Park. This is what it looks like in the show, and this is what it looks like now. After Tommy gets drunk at the bar and ruins Charlie's chance with the waitress, Charlie comes here to confront Jimmy Doyle, Tommy's dad. Charlie stands here in the corner and tells Jimmy that his child is troubled emotionally. Jimmy shows maturity and just continuously says, why? 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 Anytime Charlie makes any statement about the emotional problems that his child has. Obviously, this is no longer the East Side Saloon, it is now Moonshine. We have 908 Montrose. This is the place that's used to represent Dee's apartment. They do change the location quite a few times throughout the series, but this is like I said, this is the first spot where they actually show it as being her place. It's over in the Italian market where we filmed a whole bunch of other scenes. The McBoyles live right around the corner, so lucky Dee. So eventually we find ourselves in the car with Dennis. He's listening to Rick Astley and he's driving down Christian Street. Dee gives him a call and says that she has a hot new waitress to work at the bar. Only condition is that if she gets this hot new waitress to work at the bar, she's not going to help with Charlie get with the waitress. But as you can see, this background, I'm going to try and pull up a little bit, is basically the same. We'll see that right here when this light turns green. See? Similar background.
In episode 4, we get introduced to this B-roll footage, which is taken from Capitolo Park. It's right around the corner from Pat's and Gino's Steaks.
Conveniently, Carmen happens to be the waitress's neighbor. She lives right here at 712 Manton Street. Obviously, Carmen doesn't live here, but we first see this when Matt comes over to tell Carmen that Charlie has cancer. She leans out the window and says, "Oh, my poor baby," and comes down to console him right away before they go out on a date. In season 4, episode 1 is the first time that we see the location of where the waitress lives. It's right here at 710 Manton Street. Charlie comes up, knocks on the door to take her out on a date after Mac and Dennis paid the waitress $250 to actually sleep with him, but that's another story. Mac and Dennis pay the waitress to go out on a date with Charlie, which brings Charlie and the waitress out here to the park, right along the Schuylkill River, just on the north end of the city. At the same part of the episode, Mac and the waitress are also out on a date, which also brings them here to the same park. After Mac tells Carmen that Charlie has cancer, they go out on their date, which brings them here to the art museum. Right now we're at the scene where they're facing towards the Schuylkill River. Behind me you can see the row houses, which are actually part of the intro, but you see that at night in the intro. Mac and Carmen then run up the front stairs of the Philadelphia Art Museum before enjoying a sweet embrace. Now we are at Pat's Steaks on the corner of 9th and Cassiounk. This is where Mac is telling his mom over the phone about Carmen, who he has butterflies for. Carmen comes up behind him and startles him, causing him to punch Carmen. After Mac punches Carmen, a couple bystanders see it and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" and they intervene. Mac says it's okay because Carmen has a dick. They say, "Hey, isn't that a hate crime?" And then they begin to pursue Mac. Now running for his life so that he doesn't get beaten up by the Good Samaritans, Mac is seen running here down Latona where it meets Mildred Street. Mac then safely manages to run around the corner here at Latona and 8th, where he's able to avoid his pursuers and avoid getting beaten up. Now behind me we have St. Paul's Parish. It's right here on Christian Street near 10th Street. This is where Dennis brings a whole bunch of people to Lionel Keene's memorial, which his granddaughter put on. Dennis is using all the homeless people to basically as a way to get with Lionel's granddaughter who hosted the memorial. In Season 1, Episode 6, Charlie manages to commandeer Dee's vehicle, which he decides he's going to take to go visit Dee and Dennis's Pop-Pop. Dee asks if she's able to ride along with him when he goes to visit. He says, no, I think you should take the bus. So what does she do? She comes here to the street corner of 34th and Spruce and waits for the bus. This is what it looks like right now, and this is what it looks like in the show. So now we are at 925 South 9th Street. This is where the McPoyles live. Charlie comes here to confront them and tell them that they should not say that Coach McMurray
touched them inappropriately. I also just want to take a brief second and apologize for the self-censorship, but this is YouTube and you got to keep them happy, otherwise they take down your videos.
So we're here at 925 South 9th Street. This is where the McPoyles live, and Charlie comes here, knocks on this door, and they let him in. He tells them that they can't lie about the coach doing what they're claiming he did. And in the meantime, Dee and Dennis are standing across the street where they see Charlie go into the McPoyles' place. All right, we are at 721 Warnock. This is the location of Charlie's mom's house. Now, obviously, she doesn't actually live here, but this is where Dee and Dennis come. They knock on her door, and they let Charlie's mom know that
Charlie got the Bill Cosby treatment.
So the last bit of B-roll footage that we get to close out this season is right here at 4th and South, just looking down towards the Delaware River direction, right in front of TLA. Anyway, that's everything. And that is a wrap for Season 1. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. I always appreciate it. If there's anything that you think I missed or I should have gone over in a little bit more detail, feel free to let me know in the comments. I always appreciate the feedback. I'm going to work on getting Season 2 out here, hopefully in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. I also want to take a moment to give a shout out to the lovely young lady that I met at the steps of the art museum. She got really excited when I told her what I was doing, and she decided that she wanted to be in the video, so this one's for you. Anyway, until then, take care. Have a good winter.
What are you trying to get a video of?
So you watched Always Sunny.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
He's so for real.
yeah, so no, I'm not.
Oh, I know, but I've seen it.
Are they gonna rent it now? Is that?
Go ahead.
Um,
I'm gonna be your number one fan. Fuck Always Sunny.
Nice.
It's recording. I had to get in there.
I might actually stop it if these guys are going away.
I'm gonna be in the montage at the end, like the bloopers.
Ah, you know what? Why not? I like it.